Barefoot. Good evening. I'm not out here to sell this album. Someone pointed out that these pants are extremely wrinkled. Tonight's guest is, and tonight's show really, is a return visit by one of last season's most delightful guests, Neil Simon. Not just last season's, but any time. As we tape this, a new Neil Simon play is about to open on Broadway. This is a recorded message. It's a musical called They're Playing Our Song, or Man spielt unser Lied. And by the time this is on the air, it may very well be established as a hit, which would be no surprise, since practically everything that Neil Simon writes is not only funny and perceptive and expert, but also successful, which is nice. They're Playing Our Song would have to compete for customers on Broadway with some very stiff competition from a play called Chapter 2, which is also written by Neil Simon, which has been playing on Broadway for a year. So you can flip a coin and decide which Neil Simon play to see, which must be a nice position to be in. There's the latest Neil Simon movie, California Suite, which is doing very well all over the country. And I only hope that there are enough people at this moment who are not watching something by Neil Simon somewhere so that they can watch this show and see Neil Simon. Let's assume there are and go ahead with it. Will you welcome, please, Neil Simon. Yeah. Party hand class.
I like that. That was good.
Did you like that?
I like that. Yeah. Do more of that.
Okay, I'll do that again. I think I know how to do it now. Sammy Kahn, who must be familiar to you.
Yes, he's familiar to me.
Said on this show one time that the closest a man can come to understanding childbirth is to be involved in a musical coming to Broadway, or words to that effect. Probably the rhythm was better when he said it. But is it more traumatic than anything else?
Well, it may even have been put more aptly by Larry Gelbart. I think you probably know how he referred to doing a musical. He said
Does it involve the Fuhrer?
Yes, he said he wished that Hitler were alive today and out of town trying a musical.
Yes.
That would be his punishment.
It's hard to top that.
It was my experience in the past. This is the fourth musical I did. I did Little Me and Promises, Promises and Sweet Charity. And because I was not really familiar with the form, and I don't think one ever really gets familiar with it, it's difficult. But this one was not the case because it's an original. And so I felt that I was doing a play, and I felt very much at home with this.
That made the difference between doing a full-out musical where
well, it still has its problems because the collaboration is enormous. You are working constantly with a composer and a lyricist. The lyricist is trying to write in the same style in which you write so that it seems seamless, that you don't know what is dialogue and what is sung.
And so it doesn't sound like they stop your show to do his songs or her songs.
I think probably one of the best examples of it ever, of a lyricist writing in the form of or in the style of a playwright is Alan J. Lerner's in My Fair Lady. I mean, It sounded like Shaw wrote the lyrics, in which he did, in fact, in certain areas, that Alan was able to take some of Shaw's lyrics and embellish them.
Shaw wrote
Not
lyrics?
his lyrics. No, no. I don't always talk clearly. I think clearly.
We don't require
but I don't
that
talk
here.
Clearly. I don't know what I've said so far.
You meant Shaw's words, of course, and make them involve them in the lyrics.
Yes.
So it's conceivable that Shaw somewhere said, "Why can't a woman be more like a man?" Or
probably, possibly,
something like that.
Yeah.
Tell me about the people you select to entrust your baby to. Robert Moore, is it?
Is the director?
Yeah. And Herb Ross has done things in film and so on.
I usually stay with the same people that I have success with. I've done 4 plays with Mike Nichols, 3 movies and a play with Herbert Ross, and this is my 6th show with Bob Moore. 4 plays, 2 films, and Bob is going to be doing the film of Chapter 2.
What do you find in them that makes them the ones?
A rapport, an understanding, a way of translating what I have to say onto the stage or in films better than a lot of other people can do, including myself.
Do you have absolute control, finally, of what scenes are taken out, for example, what actors are replaced if necessary? There isn't a lot of replacing in Neil Simon shows, is there? You seem to almost always go with the people you started with.
Occasionally we have replaced people, but they are generally people that I've had no experience with before, a new actor or new actress, and they do an audition, and I say, if it's not a star part, sounds right to me, let's go with it, and then you find out. It's happened to me twice where we had to let go of somebody, but generally, no. Lucy Arnaz came to audition for this show. I had never seen Lucy's work. I never even saw her on the old Lucy shows.
You don't watch the $20,000 Pyramid?
Oh, was she on that? No. But she came to read for this play, and I knew within 5 pages, less than that she was right. The same thing with Robert Klein. With Robert Klein, there was another story because there was another actor we were very interested in.
Who was it? Is he sitting here?
He was quite good, but I knew that Robert was coming in the afternoon after him, and I said, oh, I'm in big trouble because I know I'm going to have to make a decision. I like it when I don't have to make a decision. Generally, in auditions, the actor makes the decision because they are so right that they say to you, this is it. You know, you must hire me for the role.
Diane Keaton did that to you once.
Yes, she did, and did not get the part because I did not have the final decision in that case.
Why not? How can you possibly be in a situation where you don't?
Well, that's a very ticklish situation, that particular picture, but it was a director who said, if I don't get the person that I want, I will not do the picture. Well, I wanted this director very much.
Oh, I see.
So I said, okay, I'm sorry to lose Diane. Diane was not the star that she is now, but this other person got the one she wanted, who was nominated for an award. So she was very right.
So if you had it to do over, you wouldn't know what to do, probably.
I would go with Diane Keaton because I just think she's terrific.
I kind of interrupted you there, though. You were talking about, you're saying with Klein and Arnaz, and the actor will
So Robert came
make the decision.
in the afternoon, and he has the ear, the sound, the rhythm. I guess it's very New York, as you can tell from this guttural sound you hear. It just sounded like me, and in a sense, so many of the characters that I write about are me. Sure. I think this character, despite the fact that there were a lot of stories going around that the play is based on the life of Marvin Hamlish and Carol Sager, or at least their relationship, in a sense it is. But when I sit down to write, they turn out to be me because they do ultimately say the things that I think of.
Sure.
So Robert just seemed the perfect guy, and I envision and I know that in the future I will do more projects with Robert and with Lucy.
They're delightful performers, they really are. Do you feel any kind of shift of gears or gender wrench or anything you have to make when you write the woman's part?
No. Why?
Does she talk like you too? You know what I mean?
I see what you mean. Well, no, but what I do is you have to assume that person's identity. Each line you are shifting back and forth. That's why it's hard, I think, for me to write plays with many, many characters in it, because it's jumping around a lot.
Yes, I used to think that a playwright probably writes one whole character all the way through, because how can you possibly switch from Stanley Kowalski to Blanche Dubois?
My father very naively and sweetly asked me when I was writing the Bilko show, he said, do you write just Phil Silver's lines or do you write everybody's lines? Because he thought it was very difficult, and it is. But yes, one does, I do, well, every writer does, obviously, assume the character. And you try to become that character, but I think something of you obviously must come through, your own perspective of what that person is.